was really quite fascinating. He said, you know, that's very interesting. I'm going to take this message back, you know, to my buddies. He said, but I know this fellow very well for a very long time. He said, this is the reality. The reality is that the Soka Gakkai members work like crazy to get our candidates elected. And they do it because they expect them to win. And if they don't win, the disappointment would weaken our organization because they won't get out and campaign as hard the next time. So they're very leery of running more candidates that can get elected, because you might get some votes from people who are not connected with Soka Gakkai or the Komeito, but if you lose the enthusiasm of the Soka Gakkai members to get out there and mobilize the vote, you can end up losing. That's on the Komeito. So this is Abe. But the Constitution is not going to be revised anytime soon. I think that's another bold prediction that's pretty easy to make. Why not? There's no consent. There's now a pretty strong, among the Diet men, it's overwhelmingly strong support for revising the Constitution. Among the public, depends on how the question is asked, but probably a majority say, yeah, why not? Okay, but what to revise? There is absolutely no consensus on anything about revising the Constitution. Even the first step that Abe wants to take, which is to revise how you revise the Constitution. This is Article 96, to make it easier. You know, now it requires 2/3 of the vote in each house of the Diet, and then a national referendum. So Abe wants to turn that to a majority vote in each house. There is no consensus to do this. So he can't get it done because, as I said before, whether there's a consensus or not, there is no way for the LDP to get 2/3 of the vote in the upper house. The next 3 years, there is no constitutional revision. The is things like, you know, rewriting the U.S.-Japan Security Treaty so that it's truly a reciprocal alliance where the Japanese have the same obligations to defend the U.S. as we have to defend them, and so forth and so on. So that's what you should expect, I think, on this collective defense defense issue. It's deeply divided. In one group are Takenaka Heizo, Nii Nami from Lawson, Mikitani of Rakuten, who are kind of free market economic reformers. Get the government out of the business of being involved in running, in telling business, over-regulating what business can and cannot do. They're free market reformers. But the majority on that competitive industrial council tend much more to a kind of meaty view of the government can pick the winners and work hand in glove with business to bring about needed reforms. So right now, Abe kind of stands in the middle between these two groups, which are quite vocal in their particularly the Takenaka, Mikitani, and Nii Nami. And some of those people, and it might be, you know, of the more conservative types in the DPJ that would vote with the LDP on constitutional reform. But there too, even those who favor constitutional reform, they don't favor the same reforms that Abe does. So that, you know, so the point about the Constitution, I don't think anything's going to happen. It's just delightful to be able to spend this much time and never mention the name of Ozawa Ichiro. And I don't think we need to mention his name. He's finished.